Following CJ Nerf video is rated KTPA, kid tested, parent approved, and is intended for all audiences. Friends, thanks for tuning in again to the CJ Nerf channel and to today's 1999 Air Warriors Agitator review. Guys, spoiler alert, this blaster is worth picking up, extreme value for the price. I did a review recently of the Frantic Fury. Check that card, you can actually check out that review if you want to. That was actually designed by Busby for the Adventure Force Walmart brand, and this version actually beats that version in nearly every single way, in my opinion. Now, a couple things I just want to point out real fast before we move on with the review is the stock itself. On the Frantic Fury, I actually complained because when it's in this position, it was actually really uncomfortable for your hand. Well, that remains true for the Agitator version. But when you open it up into this configuration or its furthest configuration, with the Frantic Fury, there was an extreme amount of wobble, which I didn't really feel like it was a very steady platform. There's a tiny bit of play with this one, but it's actually much improved over that of the Frantic Fury. So definitely props and like this one far better. Everything feels pretty well balanced. The grip itself is extremely comfortable. I like that, and I like the option of the scope where you can actually double it and throw it up top with these two clips they included to actually make it a sight. Very, very unique. When it comes to the shotgun prime underneath, one thing to note, it does feel a little bit slippery at times, and there were kind of times when I was going on, I could feel my fingers slipping, but nothing in any way, shape, or form that would deter me from picking up this blaster. Just thought that was worth pointing out. Let's get outside on the range and test this thing and see if the power lives up to what it says in the box. Wow, holy hand grenades. Guys, for max effective range, these are the two worst and they were at 50. These things, I mean, these darts aren't the most accurate in the world, but God, did they fly out here. These are at about 65. I have two in the grass over there that were actually from the max effective range. So that's like 70. And then we had a couple that flew off to the right because again, they're not the most accurate darts in the world, but good grief. From 50 to 70 for max effective range. I want to quickly show you guys, I have a very strong headwind blowing towards me as I was firing today out on the range. But man, the max range with this blaster is amazing. Super impressed here. 70 feet with these darts right here. Guys, this headwind was really strong, so keep that in mind because honestly, this thing would easily go over 80 if the wind wasn't so strong. These three were at 75. Had a couple more over here to the right, the left, excuse me. And these were at about 75, but I'll tell you, you take the wind out of the equation, I'm easily hitting 80 to 85, 86 feet with this blaster. Power is really nice in the Agitator. Overall, I'm really digging this platform. Way better than I did the Frantic Fury. This time we fired with the barrel on. I fired Nerf official AccuStrike darts and Nerf Elite darts for max effective range. And then I fired the Dart Zone Waffle Head and the Busby Precision Pro for max range. Those three that I just showed you were kind of misfires. I guess they actually tapped the front of the barrel on the way out. But here you can clearly see the Nerf official AccuStrike darts made it out to 50 easily to 53. And the Nerf Elites actually even went further to as much as 65 feet. Now, when it came to max range, here are some waffle heads that are at 65. We had a much bigger grouping between 67 to as much as just under 80. The Agitator, I'm telling you guys, this blaster has power and it is really nice to fire. These are the ranges with the barrel on. So you can imagine when I fired the first set of rounds without it, take that wind out of consideration, you're definitely getting over 80 feet max range with this blaster.
Really
All right,
nice.
range test results were fantastic. I love the power in this blaster. And when I put it on the Chronograph, it didn't disappoint. This one was averaging around 89 feet per second right out of the box in stock form. Unfortunately, the one downfall for this one, for me personally, is that my son is unable to prime this blaster at this time. I'm not really sure what it was. I'm not sure if it was the strength or if his hand was just slipping off this part. But at this present moment, at 5 years old, the Agitator is just a little bit beyond his reach. A couple other things I just wanted to mention. One, this blaster does not offer slam fire, so if you were looking for that feature, it is not in the Agitator. As far as magazine compatibility, it was nice. I was able to fire the 18-round mag from Nerf, as well as a 12, a banana mag. I also stuck the 25-round drum in here to make sure that that one was compatible as well, and it was. And the one great thing about the flip mag in particular is that if you like this look, go ahead and leave it. But if you don't want two magazines married into one another, you can actually take it apart and have two separate 10-round magazines. As far as dart compatibility, I had no problems with any of the other darts through this platform. I did not, however, fire the Zuru X-Shot ones. Anytime you're putting those in the magazines, it's usually a little bit of an issue. But overall, guys, $19.99 for this blaster, and the power, design, shape, feel, performance, absolutely worth it in my opinion.